Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, then run it back.
Oh, happy Tuesday morning, bright and early here from Los Angeles, California. You guys want to get right to it? I'm going to do my intros. I'm going to change it up today. Let's start on this end. Eddie Gonzalez, woohoo! Evan Turner joining us for the always vacationing Chandler Parsons. And Stadium Insider Shams Charania doing some insidey stuff over here. And I'm going to start the show today. We're going to do Sixers Celtics. I'm going to apologize on behalf of myself and everyone else who doubted playoff James Harden. Guys, something happened. I hope it's the beginning of a trend because 45 points and leading his team. Huge win on the road in Boston. No Embiid, of course. This is definitely an upset. Maxey finished with 26-4. Tatum, 39-11-5. Brown, 23-6-4. But James Harden was the story from the outfit he wore into the arena to what he did on the court. Shams, how impressed were you?
I was impressed, and I think this really started early in the year. And it's not the role that he played last night, but Doc Rivers told James Harden at the beginning of the year, we want you to be a table setter for this team. This offense is going to run through Joel Embiid, and there's no Joel Embiid last night. And yes, throughout the year, James Harden has said, okay, I'll do that. And I think everyone has just compared him really to his old greatness.
Yep.
What everyone saw from him in Houston. But it might just be he's just a basketball genius in this way because he's able to change his playing style. He's able to play as this guy, this maestro of an offense that can out table set. Yes, he'll score 20 points. But the first prerogative that Doc Rivers has for him is to set everyone else up. That's Joel Embiid, that's Tobias Harris, that's Tyrese Maxey. It's a different role. It's a different playing style that we've seen. So for him to morph his game into that, it's allowed, I think, him to extend his career potentially for 4 or 5 more seasons. Because what we're seeing right now is James Harden last night, when no Joel Embiid was there, yes, he tapped back into that scoring ability. It's not that I don't think it's not that he can't do it on a nightly basis. It's just he's playing a totally different role and he's mastered it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Shams. I think one thing that we underestimate is how big of a savant James Harden is. And one thing I noticed last night was where he controlled the game, the pace he had, or even I remember the one play where he threw it back to Tobias Harris, how he set the table, how you could literally see him set that table 3 or 4 seconds before it even happened. The whole night, I felt like he had control of the game all the way until he hit the game winner, go ahead, step back. You know, anytime a guy can put, 45 points up or even get 15 assists, and people try to say this is a down year, night in and night out, he's had countless double-doubles, 20 points, 10 assists, 11 assists effortlessly. And, they say he's one of the best offensive players ever, and last night he proved it.
Yeah, I'm happy for James because I think he's weirdly become underrated. People were asking if him or Jimmy Butler have had better careers. I'm like, yo, we're talking about an MVP. Talking about a guy who averaged 36 points a game. Yeah. This is an all-time great scorer, whether we like it or not, how he did it, whatever. So for him to be able to turn back the clock to do this, and he did it from the outset, just came out hitting threes, turned his ankle, hit another three, and got right to it. It was impressive. And, my running joke for the longest was like the biggest shot of James's career was a January game in Oakland, and it was a great shot over Draymond, and he falls on. Now he has a bigger shot, and that shot over Horford to win the game. That was incredible, and it has to be tough guarding him. He's gonna give you a little fake. He's gonna sidestep right. He's gonna he's gonna do it. You don't know when, you don't know how, and he does it. He hits it for the game on the road, in a game none of us gave them a chance to win.
Nobody.
Yeah, and when you break it down, he's saying I haven't been in his zone in a long time. Remember what he did versus the Clippers a few years ago, and they say, are you in your groove? That dude is swagger. You see the confidence, you see the gear, the clothing he comes in on.
That was an outfit.
That dude, I mean, he knows who he is, and, anytime he can get into his groove, it's going to be a problem for anybody because that handle is just unbelievable, and the size and the strength.
And he wants a title. Seeing him play for a year and some change in Brooklyn, I know what his focus is. I know what his goal is. And I know we joke about his fitness and his outfits and all this stuff, but he takes this serious. He wants to win a title. That's how he's anchoring his career right now. And he has to know this is one of the better chances he's had in his career. And if he can get through this series, you're looking at the East, you're looking at the Knicks, you're looking at the Heat.
Right? This is
you're looking at the West.
path.
The West is wide open. You're like, and we get Joel back, like...
How are you going to say the West is wide open when the Denver Nuggets are dominating right now? You're just going to say that, right? Disrespectful top of the show.
You're picking them over the Lakers and the Warriors. Like, there's a lot going on over there. And you got to feel like when he get Joel back healthy,
Yeah.
this is as good a chance as he's had. So he looks motivated, and I'm happy for him. He was able to have this night.
I feel like he carries around these ghosts of playoff performances past.
Or Game 7s.
Yeah, exactly. Game 6 and the Game 6 one against like those are there, and I feel like last night was a huge moment, not just because it was the win, but because of who he is. I mean, at least it felt like that to those of us who might have doubted that he could be the big 2 guy yesterday with no Joel Embiid. But there's a moment, there's a pass by Brogdon to Maxey. Can we dissect that? I would like to dissect that. Eddie, take us through this.
Well, I do this sometimes at the gym. You know, you're just moving fast. You don't know who's out there. You think a guy's there.
That's the worst.
That's
the worst.
You've maybe not been there. I've been there.
I've been there a bunch. I've been there. That's why I'm like, damn, I'm glad he
I
did
feel like
it.
NBA players never make that mistake, though.
But he's
Look at the time on the
expecting
clock.
JT to stay up high, which I think is the problem there. I'm not exactly sure what Jason's doing with the dive either, but it's tough, and it's tough in that moment as well. Everybody stopped. They were so stunned about it. It was late in the clock. Even Maxey looked at the Celtics bench and was like, huh, and got the layup. I couldn't believe it because I thought the Celtics had won the game. I thought it was in hand, and that changed everything.
Also, shout out, nice pass, Brogdon, NBC Sports out in Philadelphia as their Chiron. I just love moments like that in real time.
I thought about all the gamblers. I'm like, they are probably pissed,
we do.
like the whole time. Like this whole night, Malcolm bet 3,000 on this game, and Malcolm just
Malcolm bet more.
just gave up my house.
That's the whole moment, right? Yeah, it was a crazy game. No one really predicted that one. Somebody must have had Philly with an upset somewhere. I just didn't hear it for an entire day.
I'll do Philly for $20. I'll do Philly for like the light 50. I'm doing Philly.
I think what's interesting, I'm gonna take it back to James Harden.
Okay.
Maybe we all underestimated when you allow him to play that spaced out offense again, like he did in Houston, because they have a totally different style. He's trying to win a championship, like you said, Eddie. So when your championship winning coach, Doc Rivers, he won that one championship in 2008. When he tells you, this is how we're gonna win a ring. You're gonna table set. You're gonna play within the offense. Yes, you're gonna have the ball in your hands a lot, but it's gonna be on you to get Joel Embiid touches. It's gonna be on you to get all these other guys touches. So you're mentally taking a back seat going into every game and still putting up 21 and 11. And I think because we've known him to put up 30+ points and 10 assists and 6-7 rebounds, we're kind of holding it against him to an extent. But last night we saw the offense was spaced out and he did literally everything.
And I think the Celtics made the same mistake as well because anytime James Harden is in the ISO one-on-one, the advantage could be James Harden, in my opinion. So after he gets going in third or fourth three, he has to see doubles. It's James Harden.
Yeah.
At the end of the
He
day.
loves that step back jumper late in games.
Oh, my
I
God.
don't.
From
I'm
the
trying to
right
remember the
side
last
of the
time I
floor,
saw him
too.
like
right side of
drive.
the floor every time.
I'm trying to remember the last time I saw him drive for like a foul late in the game.
Why?
He loves
I
that
get 3
step
points
back.
out here. Well, I'm gonna go get 2
Yeah,
in
he
there.
loves that step back.
And they're going to hit the hand.
We had a moment between PJ Tucker and Jason Tatum, specifically PJ Tucker to Jason Tatum. The benches did clear. I mean, this was. It was a thing, Evan.
Yeah.
What, too much? Should have been made more? Should we've had a penalty, something?
I don't think I saw PJ like hit, you know what I mean? See him hit him. So I wasn't really tripping.
Let's see, hold on.
Oh.
It's the swing around on
But
the right.
He was talking to somebody, though, I think. I think he was yelling
Yeah,
at
I
his
don't think it was
teammate.
on purpose.
Yeah, but I mean, the bench is clear. That was about right. I mean, you hit the superstar.
He's mad at Maxey.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to pick up that cutter, but
Man.
that's gonna hurt the best man. Like
Yeah.
the swinging back fist like that. Whew. I don't know what Marcus Smart thought happened, but look, this is accidental. Pete's just not dirty. Pete's just tough.
Yeah,
He's strong.
yeah.
He's not dirty.
No, it was just a perfectly imperfect moment
Yeah.
for Tatum to be running through that spot.
Yeah, but they were-
He's not even looking
Like-
back at Tatum.
No, it reminded me of the Vince Olympic dunk where he almost knocked KG out.
Oh, yeah, that
he
was
just
crazy.
gave us, it was
crazy.
one of those type of moments. So I don't know, it's tough, but that's not dirty.
No, I don't think it was dirty, but PJ Tucker has some great stats. This is my favorite. First player in NBA history, at least shot clock era, to play at least 37 minutes in a playoff game
0 points.
with 0 attempts, period, from both the field and the free throw line. He had 0 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals. That's remarkable.
That's when you go into the locker room like, Coach, for all due respect. Like, damn, I can't get in. Like,
But he's done that. He did it this season. Like,
I'm not
No,
mad.
he's saying
How many
the
games was it?
teammates. You're saying
Yeah, like if I was a team.
Yeah, you wanna go in.
You're George Niang. You're like, yo,
and
come
he's
on, man.
playing
What are we doing right
37.
now?
Like I can hold Tatum at 39.
but he has
Please
value,
believe.
right? Like, that's.
I think so. He has to. And I
That's-
think he's a great leader.
great leader. I think there's a lot of intangibles with PJ Tucker.
Yeah.
Because how many games was it this year? There was like a
There was a
streak
number,
where
like
he
people
didn't
counted,
shoot
yep.
at all.
0 points, 0
Yeah.
shots for quite some time.
Which
I
I-
mean,
I
and I
love.
think their record was really good without him
Yeah.
shooting too.
It was working.
Definitely selfless.
All right, so obviously Joel Embiid, you saw him there in street clothes, a great sweatshirt, by the way. They got the win. I think they surprised themselves probably with the Game 1 win. So if you're the Sixers, do you rest him for 2? You playing with house money now?
Yes, absolutely.
100%.
And what's even kind of crazier, look, Paul Reed's not better than Joel Embiid. We know that. He's not better really in any way. But to what Shams said, they get to play a different style. It might be a little more conducive for this matchup. They also get to play a little bit different defensively. He's smaller. He's a little more mobile. Not to say he's better than Joel defensively either. But this is a team that plays 5 out. You have to close out all night. You have to scramble all night. It makes a little bit more sense. Give Joel the extra couple days. We need him as healthy as he can be when he gets on the court. He did not look like he's ready to play basketball in these little clips that are leaking. So, yeah, take that extra day. You split. You got home court. That's what your goal is as the road team, as the lower seed. And send the big fella back to Philly for some treatment. Meet him out there.
I totally agree. Anytime you go into a series, you always say you just want to get at least one on the road.
Yep.
So you got that one on the road. You have 2 or 3 guards that can really score at a high level. Push the pace, let Joel rest up, go back and, finish off the series.
Hardness, focus.
Yeah,
right
for
there.
sure.
Tell him, get in the locker room. All right, so all of that being said, they did get one on the road, which means we need to talk about the Celtics because we talked, that last series was not easy for them. They should be better, you would think, and then this happens. How concerned are you as a Celtics fan, as a Celtic? I mean,
I'm not really concerned, to be honest
Really?
with you. No, I mean, you have Jason Tatum, arguably, if not like the best player in the game right now. You have Jaylen Brown, who's one of the best two-way players in the game. You have Al Horford, Marcus Smart. You have a loaded 7 or 8 players that have high experience, a lot of camaraderie, and he's been through this numerous times. And I think being down 0-1, is not advantageous to them, but it kind of tickles them. They're not nervous. They're not. they're not worried. They legit have beat the Sixers numerous times with Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, Jimmy Butler, J.J. Redick. So now this new age team, I think they can have confidence if they figure it out to do so with the group they're going with.
it merely tickles them?
I didn't see Jaylen Brown struggling to get shots last night. He shot 8 of 10 last night. I didn't see Jason Tatum struggling. He had 39 points.
Yeah.
They only made 10 threes, which is a little odd for that
weird.
team. You would expect them to take and make more. No, I don't think you're all that concerned, especially because Joel Embiid's hurt. Now, if he comes back and he looks like Joel Embiid and we're in Philly in Game 3 and we gave up the split, it's a little different. But I expect them to handle business in Game 2, and then, you go from there. But they had this game in hand. For all of the heroics from James Harden, for everything that was going on, they had this game in hand late and literally threw it away. So I don't think you're too pressed about it.
I feel like Boston sports fans are just very nervous right now. You just had an epic collapse on the hockey
Bruins,
side.
yeah.
Like, it's just, this feels stressful to me.
That's a real sports city. You know what I mean? You show a little bit of, nerves or anything anytime you go up and down, but they'll be fine. I think Boston, they're fruitful.
They had-
E.T., when you were a Celtics assistant coach, did you feel the nerves?
No, not at all, because it wasn't going to get blamed on me.
Brilliant.
I was looking at Brad like, man, you better get this together. But no nerves. You comprehend how the game goes, and anytime you have a Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum in your locker room, you're winning 50 games a year. So there's just certain groups that come in where you're like, I hope they're ready for this, but I just truly believe with those type of guys, the type of talent that Jason Tatum is, it's not if, more so than when he gets a championship and gets over the hurdle.
They had 20 years of Tom Brady out there. I'm not feeling sorry for
Oh,
Boston.
here we go. Yeah, that's a good point. It's a great point.
Whatever.
You know what? You're right.
And we still let people think the Celtics won the 2010 championship as well.
Oh.
You know what I mean? They treat that championship versus Lakers like, you know what I mean? Like they won it. So there's a dynasty.
In their own mind, yeah.
I kind of love that for them, actually. There was another game, Eddie. Suns, Nuggets, Game 2.
Good fun.
Nuggets with a 10-point win here. They lead that series 2-0. Look, Jokic, 39, 16, and 5. Booker had 35, 5, and 6. Durant had 24, but he was 2 of 12 from 3. We'll start with Jokic, Evan. Would you call it a statement game for him?
I think so. I just think it really, puts the Suns coaching staff at, in a debacle. Last game, he beat them, distributing. In this game, they let him go head up, and he had like 39. He scored literally every time on, DeAndre Ayton. I don't think there's much they can do with him. I think they're going to have to come into Game 3 with a better, defensive plan because they can't stop him, and he's not the only one they can't stop.
Well, what is the plan then? Like,
make more shots.
Yeah,
What's disheartening for me if you watch that game, if you're the Phoenix Suns, the first game we had no issue scoring. We couldn't rebound. We couldn't take care of the ball.
Right.
The second game, they actually had more offensive rebounds than the Nuggets. They almost won the rebound. They were 2 rebounds behind, and we had some garbage time. And they had less turnovers. But now you can't hit a shot. So you've lost in 2 different ways. The Nuggets have mostly stayed the course and did what they did. You have Jamal Murray struggle in that way that he did last night. You got to win that game. You got to get the split. What's concerning for me is it looks like they tired out both games out there in Denver. And we talked about it yesterday. That thin air out there, it's no joke.
And
it's really that bad?
It's a real home court advantage.
No, it's a terrible home court advantage, to be honest with you, especially in this situation. You're going into the playoffs down 0-2. You got a Jokic, Jamal Murray running down your neck. And you can't breathe for the first 24 minutes.
Oh, gosh, so dramatic.
You know what I'm saying?
Jamal Murray shot 3 of 15 yesterday.
Yeah, not
but
the
he hit
same.
a big shot late.
Yeah.
And he came through when it mattered. But if you hold him to that, to me going into the series, Jamal Murray was the key. You actually stifle him a little bit and you still lose the game. That's a tough game to lose.
Yeah.
I love Nikola Jokic's comments post-game where he's just like, I hope I'm lounging at a pool area tonight when the MVP comes out. Like, I do not care. I actually love that.
I love him a little bit.
The most 30, 10, and 5 games for a center in NBA history for Nikola Jokic. He's got 11.
That's
Next
great.
closest
In
is
playoffs.
Kareem with 10 and Shaq.
Jeez.
Wow.
That's
Yeah,
insane.
what do you have to say about that, Evan?
Shoot.
You want to poop on his game now?
No, I'm going to give him some.
Oh, we're doing it. Okay, we're doing it. Snaps all around. Eddie, you're obviously the expert here. Can the Suns win 4 of the next 5?
They can. And I think there's a lot in this series to like. I think they've actually defended well. You hold that team under 100 points, even with an incredible Nikola Jokic game last night. It's kind of shocking that the issue is their offense. And it was the issue in game 1 as well. They're just, it just seems like they're not utilizing Kevin and Devin in ways that they should. Even when Chris Paul went out with the groin, which I'm sure we'll talk about, they got right back into their pick and roll stuff with Campaign and Jock Landale. And it's like, are KD and Booker not out there? I'm looking on the court like, am I missing something? It doesn't help that Kevin shot 10 of 27 like he did, so he'll have to be better. He'll want to be better, obviously. But they can win these games. They were tight with them. They were up in the third quarter. They'll have home court. They'll feel a little better about themselves. But you got to win game 3. There's no way around it.
And I just think you have to be more physical as well. No diss to DeAndre Ayton, but you see a lot of those highlights. It seemed like it's met with, when Jokic was scoring, it was met with, not that much resistance. And I think you have to really be into his body, really do a lot of work before he gets the ball in order to stop him, because the second he touches the ball, great things happen. And, Jokic being a bigger part in it, 39 points, you just can't have that happen. Because he's not beating you with speed. He's not beating you with anything besides
It's such an awkwardly lovely game.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, it's so interesting to me to watch him play.
No ball pressure, no nothing. He's just sizing them up and just shooting. That's a 2-time MVP.
Mike Malone, he has those guys prepped. And he went yesterday, he put Jokic on Okogie and Craig when they were in the game, and he put Aaron Gordon on DeAndre Ayton, and basically ended the pick and roll for Book and Kevin. And the Suns have to counter that. They had to figure something out. At the end of the day, they got to make shots. Yeah. They had a ton of open shots yesterday and just missed. And it's from everybody all the way down the line. Book had a great game. Kevin missed a ton of threes. You put Damian Lee out there to make threes. He misses a ton. Okogie, Craig, same thing. They're getting wide open shots. You got to knock them down. You're not going to beat this team unless you make some shots.
I want to talk really quickly, though, because I feel like Denver might – oh, good Lord. Denver feels like – and we've done it all season long. They do not get the same respect other teams get. Even in this series, they weren't considered the favorite, despite what the number before their team says. Do we owe them an apology as a collective media unit?
I think so. And this is a series where, I kept telling people this is going to be a tough series for fans.
Yeah.
Please do not overlook this team. They have a ton of continuity. They have a 2-time MVP. They know what they're doing, and they have home court. I do think all year long we looked at them as a faux contender. We looked at them as a pretender. And I think we're still going to look like it, even if they win this series, because they were like, okay, now beat the Warriors. Let's see. Or beat the Lakers. Beat LeBron. Let's see it. And it's going to be that until they win it, but that's how it goes. And they got to prove us wrong, and they might. They just might.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. I think one thing that occurs is showing the consistency and how real they are. The past couple of years, they got the early exit from the playoffs in the second round. So in my personal opinion, we have a 2-time MVP. A certain situation like that should not happen. So I think when you're having a LeBron James flowing around, a Steph Curry flowing around, or, you know, the Suns added KD, you can't fix your lips to be like, yo, this is Denver's time. And it's like how, where, who, what.
They have a lot to
They're
prove.
proving it.
Yeah,
They're proving it.
more than other teams, it seems. CP3 did leave the game with the groin tightness, Shams. I'm looking at you. What's the latest?
Groins are tough. I mean, anytime you pull a groin, a hamstring, those are those soft tissue injuries where you pull them. It's tough to heal from. I'm told he's going to have an MRI later today. They're going to know more. But their next game is on Friday, and I think he's got to be uncertain for Friday, given there's Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday. We got 3 days between games, but I don't know if groin injuries heal in just 3 days. So especially when you're Chris Paul's, he's a veteran.
Advanced
in this league.
age, is that what you're trying to say?
In basketball terms, obviously.
Advanced age, yeah.
But listen, it's going to be tough with 3 days to heal from this groin injury.
That was a long break in between, though.
You ever had a groin injury? That's a 3-day thing? Doesn't sound like a 3-day thing.
No, not at all.
Tell us about it.
I mean, it's just uncomfortable for sure. I mean, honestly, you're just risking yourself if you really want to play, you're going to be hampered by it, and any crazy acceleration, you feel like you're going to pull it again.
But do you look at it if you're him as like, my window is...
Oh, no, yeah, it's over. He should be playing.
I have to go.
Yeah, that whole hand, like...
This is it.
Yeah, it's it. Like,
Yeah.
It's like his 18th time getting injured in the playoffs. Like,
Does have...
Yeah.
Makes me wonder in a previous life what Chris Paul might have done to somebody, because he does have bad luck when it comes to this.
Oh, I know.
The groin is tough. I mean, remember AD last year? He had the groin, came back, tried to force it, and basically immediately injured it right again.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
one of those places, the hamstring, the groin, the
Yeah.
quad, can't stand, can't sit, can't lay. You feel that no matter what you do. And then you want to run and jump at full speed.
Yeah, and then
Good luck.
And then the other opposing team knows you're injured,
Yeah.
so they're attacking you
Yep.
every single night, or every single play. So
Did you hear that, Knicks? I'm just shouting that out for later today. But if you don't have CP3 though, and you're already down 2, what happens?
Kevin Durant, you get a full course of Kevin Durant. I want to see him shoot 40 times, and then Buck shoot 30,
Right.
and then we see what's going on after the game. But you go with your Jimmys and Joes.
I mean, rose-tinted glasses, you say, hey, if they have offensive identity issues, you take him off the court. Now you have to use those guys.
Right. Yeah.
Now you have to let Kevin and Book run pick and roll, get into their spots, do what they like. You have no choice. But again, like I said, last night I watched Campaign come in the game, immediately run pick and roll with Doc Landale. So maybe you don't have to, but you should. Absolutely should.
Break time, guys. When we come back, Shams, no pressure, the scoop on Jimmy Butler's ankle, and are we buying that the Clippers need to bring back Russell Westbrook? PG thinks so when Run It Back returns.
Run it up, run it back, yeah. Run it up, run it back, 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 run it up.
I hope Jimmy Butler's ankle slept well. Well, Austin, I mean, I'm hoping for your sake, I guess, as well. But then you also have Julius and Jalen. There's a lot going on, Shams, in this game tonight between the Knicks and the Heat. But Butler update.
Yeah, I'm told Jimmy Butler wants to play. I think he's going to try to play as today goes on. The one good thing that I've learned in the last 24 hours is that the ankle isn't as serious. That sprain wasn't as serious as we all saw. I mean, it was a gruesome-looking injury when he first had it. Obviously, he was down on the floor. Very rare when you see Jimmy Butler, kind of on the ground for that amount of time and just going through what seemed to be a pretty painful injury. But I'm sure we'll learn more in the coming hours.
Hella swollen is what they were saying. By the way, I think between he and Jalen Brunson, I can't imagine either one of them saying, no, I'm going to sit. They're going to try, right? Like,
You got to. Those two guys, I mean, we say that in Julius Randle sat in game 1, but again, not
True.
every ankle turn is built the same. You've been there. Ankle turns are part of basketball.
Yeah, for sure.
by the way, Evan, can you dissect this video of him walking? Give us your doctor's idea of what we're looking at.
And let's
Yay?
get to me. I think he'll be better once adrenaline kicks in.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair.
Tordo, like you said, like he
Adrenaline
said.
and other stuff.
Yeah, and then, you got the training staff. You tape the ankles the right way. once you see that first shot go in, a steal, you're good.
Plus the Garden's gonna be electric. Like
That's
all
gonna
of
be
that, I
crazy.
feel like
Yeah, and then
it's gonna hurt after.
He
But
played in that game still. He didn't
That's a great
miss a
point.
minute. So I don't. He should sit and get a little better. But yo, if you can take a 2-0 lead back home,
yeah.
and you have that opportunity, I don't see him giving that up. So I expect to see Jimmy Buckets out there today.
yeah, I just hope everybody plays.
And if he sits, no disrespect to the Heat, but they're already missing Hero.
Yeah.
Pretty
Like,
disrespectful.
Oladipo.
Yeah, Oladipo. I mean,
It's gonna be very, very, very hard.
Yeah,
I don't know if they have someone that can do what James Harden did last night.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I love Max Strus, Duncan Robinson. We had a couple sightings from him, but we
That ain't it?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not gonna do it.
Coach Spo and them are great, but I think he might need some of those.
The pressure on Jimmy.
Let's just play, Jimmy. Like, it's not my ankle, but let's just play.
Yeah, right. It's so easy for us
Help
to
us
sit
out,
up here comfortable. A little you buying that time right now. The Ringer released. I love lists. You guys know I love lists. They released their updated player rankings. These are updated. Jokic is 1, Giannis is 2, Steph is 3. You buying it?
I think Steph Curry's better than both those guys on that list right there.
Yeah.
To the truth be told, I mean, I'm kind of look. Every time a guy plays good or bad, we have to have a list and figure out where they are top 10
Darn right.
all time. And now Kevin is like 23rd after yesterday, and Steph is 3 all time after the other day. I'm kind of sick of lists, but they got that one wrong. And in all due respect to Jokic and Giannis. To also put that out after Giannis goes home and tells us that losing doesn't matter and nobody loses or fails or whatever the quote was, a little conspicuous. I see what they're doing
Whatever the
there.
quote was.
Yeah, I just, but hey, it's all on the path to success or whatever they said.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Eddie. I wouldn't mind putting Steph at the front and adding a couple other players. I'm a big Jokic and Giannis fan, but I kind of like my guys a little bit different.
Is this because you guys are American flag waving fools?
No, I never waved the American flag a day in my life.
Okay. Not once.
Same.
You know what I mean? And I would love to, root for those guys. But you got Chef Curry. I mean, that dude is unbelievable. You have LeBron James still running around. You have Kevin Durant.
Say that again.
LeBron James.
LeBron James coming around. And like I said, I'm a big Tatum fan. So I still think
That's your boy. That's your young boy.
that's my guy. But I like Tatum more than Giannis and Jokic. You know what I'm saying? And that's...
Okay.
That's the one, the social team, that's the one they're going to put up and
Yeah, I like
they're going to have to
Tatum.
answer to all day.
I like Tatum better than Giannis and Jokic. And I think,
I love JT. That's my guy.
yeah. No?
I don't know if
But
I'm
no?
putting him above
Giannis?
But look,
That's...
I love JT.
So what
I love his
Interesting.
game. I love what him and Drew Hanlon put together and all that good stuff. And look, 39 last night, and he's still playing. So.
Yes.
I was gonna say, is this because Giannis is not playing right now?
He got Giannis
Also
out of there
recent?
last year.
I'm talking about any other, like, if
Period.
Giannis was playing.
Okay, even
Like,
if.
if Giannis, like, the Bucks are playing, like, I might be, like, the best players in the game, or, like, Tatum, Brown, Holiday, Giannis.
Dang.
That's aggressive.
What?
Don't put that out.
Holiday.
What's happening right
Yeah,
now?
never mind. I'm tweaking.
Let him talk. Let him talk.
I'm
You got
sorry,
it. You
no,
cooking.
I'm
ISO.
finna-
Keep adding
Spread
names
it
to the
out.
list
I'm finna
before
get
Giannis.
blackballed.
So let me ask
Took a
this.
turn.
Where's Joel Embiid in this? That's what I want to know.
I got Joel Embiid top 5 for sure. I got him
Your
like-
top 5 has 8 players.
So my top 5 doesn't have those two.
Okay. Oh, right. Okay. So,
that's what
Tatum
I'm
and
saying.
Brown.
All right, so I'm not even having, like... All right, so for instance, my top 5 right now. Okay, I'm gonna have Joel Embiid, Steph Curry, Tatum. I'm gonna have to throw, I guess, LeBron in, and right now, for shits and giggles,
Too late.
for giggles, Jimmy Butler, sure.
What?
Right now, I'm just saying right now, I'm throwing in a 5. I would like to take Jimmy Butler before
Giannis?
Giannis for obvious reasons.
You're going to go
What is
viral today.
happening
And I
right now?
apologize for that.
And I
shouldn't
hate
have
it
asked
too,
you.
bro, damn.
I feel like if we just let you keep talking, this
No, I'm
whole show
done.
is just going to get
No,
better and better.
I'm done. I'm
I'd have
done.
KD in my top 5 over
KD.
Jimmy, or probably Jason
KD,
Tatum,
yeah.
but, hey, I like it.
Oh, God. It's
I
just getting
forgot,
awkward.
but I feel like Kev goes without saying, to be honest with you.
Same.
No,
Yeah.
you have to
Yeah.
say it when you're putting a
have
list
to say it.
together.
All right,
That's
then,
how
then
lists
throw
work.
Kevin Durant out, Jimmy. Throw Kevin Durant in, Jimmy, you're out.
Jimmy, you're
I'm
out,
sorry.
just like that.
All right.
Man, I'm
Now,
gonna.
is that decent? Is that
I'm gonna
decent
ask you again
list?
tomorrow. This whole thing will be different.
It's solid. It's solid. I think people will feel a way about Jason, but I think Jason is really that great. I think he's one of probably the best young player in the league, and has to be respected as such.
Yeah.
All right, tomorrow we'll ask you again and
No,
see if it's changed.
I'm gonna write
I
it
cannot
down.
wait.
Yeah, let's get it.
Paul George was talking about the addition of Russell Westbrook to the Clippers roster because they're done and stuff, so now you have to answer a bunch of questions before you leave. He's proved he's a leader. He does everything on the floor. He's so valuable. We know it works. We gotta get Russ back. That's the quote, Evan. Are you buying that the Clippers need to bring him back?
I definitely think so. You always heard that Russ has been a great teammate, a great competitor. I think his skill set and everything is something you need. And if you don't have anything better, why give him up? You sit there trying to, see what happened with John Wall. They kept trying to find point guards to put in that situation and make it work with them. I think Russ would be great to have back in the locker room and from a competitive standpoint.
Yeah, I think, when you talk about the Clippers, it's always if the Clippers are healthy.
Yeah.
But if the Clippers are healthy, he's a point guard that makes a ton of sense for them.
Yes.
And you saw what he did in that playoff series. You saw the value of Russell Westbrook, the aggressive player who crashes the boards. And look, we know he doesn't shoot well. But on a team with wings like that, with Paul George, with Kawhi Leonard, he can set the table. He can be energy for that team. He's the point guard they actually need. So I do buy it. I actually think he will be back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy for Russ that he was able to prove himself on that stage, that he belongs in this league and he's a valuable player in this league.
He's available.
His availability is huge too. And again, same thing going back to James Harden. We've got this thing where we've tore down Russ for so many years now.
Yep.
Now he's underrated in this really weird way, and he can be valuable for a team like that. He had a great series, and he didn't shoot great in Game 1, Game 5. But he galvanized that team, and I think they need him.
I got Russ in my top 5 too. I got him there.
I never doubted it for a second.
Giannis and Jokic.
The longest top 5 ever. You know what? Do you think Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, I mean, look, they're superstars, but they're also superstars we barely get to see play together. Are they comfortable at night? Because what if the decision is, let's just blow this whole thing up so we can have a real team ready to go in the new building?
I just don't see who else you go get.
I get it, but
you know what I mean? Like,
this is not good either.
Yeah, for sure. And them being hurt isn't great, but who else are you going to go get? Like, if there's nobody out there to go get it, you blow this whole thing up. Would you rather sit and wait for them to go the 6th seed again and try to make another run at it, or just trade in 2 great two-way players and wait for?
It's not great. It's a weird situation to be in, to have those 2 guys and also just be like, don't know what to do next.
Yeah,
You're probably sitting there saying, what are the odds of this many injuries? At some point, the clock has to reset.
90%.
Now, you play that out. The problem is they're legitimately great, both of them.
Yeah,
Hall of Fame players. They're going to walk into the Hall of Fame no matter what happens from here. And when we have them on the court at the same time, if you're looking at these playoffs right now, you're like, we could run with any of these teams. And you're going to say that. And you're going to say that again in October. And you're going to hope they're healthy when you need them. And, we'll see. But it's not just them that gets hurt. Joel Embiid's hurt again.
Sure.
Like, Jimmy Butler's hurt again. Like, that's the league.
They get the spotlight because of the load management thing. Like they were front and center doing that, so blatant about it.
Yeah.
And then of course we're gonna pick on them more. Guys, it's take a deep breath, crack the neck for this next one, because it's time to talk about Dylan Brooks. Fined $25,000 for skipping media availability. He told the Memphis media that he's not changing his trolling ways, and I quote, "Nope, that's who I am. I don't regret it. I'm a competitor. I compete." One might want to describe what competing actually looks like in a closeout game. But Evan, are you buying that he regrets nothing?
I'm not buying it because, obviously he races social media.
Obviously.
and certain stuff like that, and he wouldn't talk to the media. But I believe he's still going to, lick his wounds and come back and be the same person. I believe he will.
In what uniform?
Yeah, in what uniform, who knows? I believe he'll be in the NBA, it won't be in China like people are saying. But when it comes down to it, I think he knows how to be one way, and I think sometimes you just knocked on the wrong door, and I think he learned that lesson. But he wouldn't be in this league. I don't think the Grizzlies would be in the position they're in without a mindset that he had and that culture had with, having a
troll. A big troll.
Yeah, troll mentality and, going at some of the best,
I mean, it reeks of regret, though.
Yeah,
he
for sure.
reeks of regret right now.
I mean, his actions say different. He was way more timid on the court after LeBron, mowed him down and gave him the conversation he had. He was
Mowed him down.
He was just.
That's tough.
He was just a whole different guy, and then he does the walk of shame, like deletes the stuff.
He said mowed him down.
Mowed him down is rough visual, but not.
I love that
accurate.
video because then LeBron just goes and dunks.
Yeah.
Somebody said he just flew off like a superhero.
It was like a movie scene. Like it was completely scripted and ready to go.
He's going to have to play with that energy for the rest of his career. He's going to have to be a scrappy guy. He's going to have to be a defensive player. He's going to have to be a PJ Tucker.
Yeah, for sure.
And you have to come with that at all times. Maybe he won't do it in the media so much. Maybe he'll be a little more reserved. PJ doesn't talk crazy in the media. He probably talk crazy on that court. So, but he's going to have to do that. And so in that sense, does he regret it? Of course, because he stopped doing it. We watched him.
He shut down.
But he's going to have to
That's the part that I don't understand.
Maybe.
Like, Evan, if you're a player like Dylan Brooks who's like relying on this bravado to, be the person the player that you are, what would you have done? Would you have just continued to triple, double down, or would you have kind of taken a step back like he?
Yeah, you got to triple and double down because you said what you said, and the narrative already when he's screaming out media, 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 you gave that narrative as is, and that's a hot topic. You're going to run with it, and I felt as though he should have just went down on his shield, and called it a day. You know what I'm saying?
I defended him. I thought the whole thing was entertaining. So that's why I'll probably be the hardest on him now because it was such a disappointing ending.
I would have respected him doubling down. Like, you know what?
Oh,
I don't care what y'all say.
Yeah, no,
He still hasn't scored 40. You say what you want. I would have respected that.
You have to double down.
Go in your foxhole. That's a little different.
It's not a good look. Kyrie Irving was spotted courtside at that Grizzlies-Lakers Game 6. Conspiracy theories abound, Eddie, that the reunion is upon us. Are you buying it?
No, because I think the Lakers are happy with what they have right
Fair.
now. And that's what the thing is. There's less drama. I love Kyrie, but there is less drama with D'Angelo Russell and Dennis Schroeder and the guys they have there. It's crazy to say less drama on a LeBron James team, but
it is.
I think they're gonna stick with what they got. I think Kyrie will test the market. But if you think about it, and Shams has reported it, the Lakers had multiple chances to go get Kyrie. And at each stop, stopped just short. So I don't see it. I think what he's doing, the courtside thing, is a great sneaker.
He was also in Sacramento,
tour.
though.
That's what I'm saying. He went to the Kings game.
So it's a
with his
sneaker
daughter.
tour.
Maybe he's just going to see games with his daughter.
Great promo for his new
private
sneaker.
jet out.
Which we still don't. Yeah, there they are. We don't know much more about. It's very elusive on the internet to get information on these shoes.
It's very
right now.
Kyrie to have a mysterious shoe.
I
That's
kind of
the
like
most
them.
Kyrie thing.
They look very designer.
I'd like to see another colorway. Like to see the basketball version, but I like what he's doing.
I don't hate them. I don't hate them at all. Taking a quick break here. When we come back, the man, the myth, the legend, he who lives the best of lives, Chandler Parsons, will join us live from Cabo. I don't even know why we just laugh when we see him.
He's funny.
That's all it is.
Tell me about the league you're starting up. I believe it's called One City.
Yeah.
Just give me the breakdown of what you're about to launch.
Well, when I was here in Chicago playing for the Bulls, I did a lot of work in the community. One of the things that was really powerful to me was doing these tournaments where we're bringing kids from different backgrounds playing against each other. Chicago is a place that gave me everything I had playing for the Chicago Bulls. So I always wanted to do work in the city. The city's divided in a lot of ways, and one of the ways to unify the city is through hoop. Just like we were talking about, some of my best friends to this day are from playing basketball, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to unify the city, so we're working with 28 violence prevention groups, and we're doing a big tournament. That's why we're unifying the city through this tournament. We're bringing in all the OGs. Obviously, the basketball is the way to bring them in, but the programs that are going to come in after is the real piecework. And you know what? I'm really proud of it. I'm proud of all the OGs who are a part of it. Shout out Kobe Williams. We also have Arnie Duncan on board, so I'm really excited about all the people who are helping us with this. And it's really special just to be able to come back to the city and do something positive.
Yeah, so, in my conversation with Joakim, he also broke some news about his involvement in Chandler Parsons going to Florida, if we have this. I didn't know this. I'm on a show with Chandler Parsons. Is there any message you want to give to Chandler Parsons right now?
Shout out to the White Horse. Chandy, man, I love you, man. That's my little bro as well. Don't forget, who got you at the University of Florida. We're going to keep that between you and me, but the White Horse, I love you, killer.
I mean, that's a good nickname, White Horse's Ass. We would have also accepted. And he joins us now live from Cabo. Chandler Parsons, what?
What did Joakim do to get you to Florida? We got to hear. What was being thrown under the table? What's the real deal here?
Tell us, please.
On the table.
Unless this show gets picked up on Netflix, there's no I can tell you guys that. But that's one of the greatest human beings I've ever met in my life, from on the court to off the court. Joakim Noah, everything he does in this community, everything he does in his hometown, he's just a fantastic dude, and I love him to death. And I'll say this, I had 5 official visits scheduled my senior year in high school, and Florida was the first one. And I signed on Sunday after doing things for the first time and canceled my other visits. So it was an incredible weekend, and he was the best host of all time.
My brain is running wild with what I think it could be.
Yeah, I know.
This is a bad thing.
I know exactly what.
Fill in the blanks, Evan.
I'm sure it's exactly what we think it is.
I feel like I'm probably not wrong at all. Chandler, we're going to get to the games tonight, but your reaction first before we do that to Harden. What was it?
It was fantastic. I mean, all year long we've been kind of saying he's taking a back seat. He can't score anymore. Joel's the guy, which has been true. And he's been very passive. He's been the facilitator. He's kind of turning this point guard. And he went into this game, and he's saying all the right things too. He's saying that it's just one win. It's just he's getting on his teammates. But he was unbelievable. He was efficient. He was getting to his spots. He was getting to his pull-up. He was knocking down threes. He was hitting big shots late in his patent little bang step back. Right, it was an unbelievable performance. And I know he said that they didn't expect to lose this game. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but they came in here with not that much pressure to win the game, and I think they took advantage of it. I thought Tyrese Maxey was great. I thought Tobias Harris gave them something. And this is obviously a huge start, because however long this series goes on, that just gives the big fella more time to get ready and get that knee right. But unbelievable performance by him, and he just showed us he's still one of the more elite scorers in the league.
I mean, it's, arguably one of his best games of all time. Heat Knicks tonight. That's one of the games, the first one. Must win for New York?
I think so. I think this is definitely a must win. You have to get one on at home before you hit the road. And I think right now, in order to get that rhythm and that feel and get confident in this situation, you can't go down 0-2, hitting the road, going to Miami. Just seeing they had confidence to sweep last series, or not sweep, but win 4 quick ones, and you just can't fall behind.
Yeah, Chandler, we still have Brunson and Randall. They're both being listed as questionable, and we won't know for a few more hours at least. If, in fact, they don't go, who steps up for this Knicks team?
I mean, you got to look to R.J. Barrett. You got to look for Quickly having a better game than he did game 1. But this is tough, and it seems like there's a lot of injuries this year. And you can't just point to one team. It seems like every team has gone through this, and that's honestly just part of it. Look at the Heat. They don't have Oladipo. They don't have Tyler Hero. So it's hard to say that injuries are really affecting the series because they're both banged up. But it's going to be tough. It's already tough without Randall. And now Jalen Brunson, I think, is their best player. He's the engine that gets that team going. The way he sets up their offense, the way he gets points for them, it's going to be a tall task. And like Evan just said, going down 2 games to Miami against Jimmy Butler and this team and this culture, that's not, it's possible. Obviously, we just saw it with Golden State and Sacramento, but they got to get this one or it becomes a real doozy for them.
Second game of the night, Lakers-Warriors game 1. Let's put some pressure on some people, Chandler. Who feels it more, LeBron or Steph, to advance?
Oof. I mean, this is a big legacy series for both of these guys. I think it's more pressure for the Warriors. I think the Lakers already exceeded expectations by getting here, by beating the Kings, by making the moves they did to even get in the playoffs. I feel like their season has already been successful, and I know they're not going to say that. I know they're going to want to obviously survive and advance and keep going, but we're looking at the end of an era possibly with the Warriors if they lose this series. And this could be the last time you see Steph, Draymond, and Klay together. So I think the pressure is for them. I think they know they're the better team. It's crazy they're the 6th seed and they got home court advantage. I don't know when the last time that's happened, but it just shows how competitive the Western Conference has been all year long, and it's anybody's game. But this is exciting. This is 2 of the greatest players of all time that can really just put a stamp on their legacy by whoever moves forward.
Yeah. I think the most pressure is on LeBron. You know, I don't really see Steph Curry really getting nervous. I don't really see Klay Thompson really getting nervous. You know, just judging from, you know, how some of the guys acted on the bench, and for the Warriors, I don't think they see the bigger picture to really get nervous. So I think this is all a huge part of LeBron's legacy. Like we argued before, you know, you have Steph and LeBron, two of the best players of the era, of the generation, and I think this kind of is one of the last few battles in our head that really solidifies who's really running what. So I see all pressure on the Lakers.
Pressure's a funny word, but I'll throw a different guy out there. Anthony Davis. This is a series with a bunch of all-timers, you know, two of the greatest of all time. Anthony Davis can put his stamp on whatever his legacy is here. He's a guy we constantly go, just like Kawhi and Paul George. If he's healthy, we look at him in that way. If he dominates this series, especially after what we just watched happen to Domantas Sabonis, and he helps push the Lakers to a win against the reigning champs, against Steph at this peak that he's at, and now we're looking at Anthony Davis different. So I think it's a big series for him. I think it's a good matchup for him, too.
Steph Curry, LeBron James both have a chance to get 5 rings this season. What do you think, Chandler? Legacy's on the line?
Can't wait to argue that.
That's what I'm saying. It's a huge stamp of approval for whoever gets going through. Obviously, they're both are going to be first ballot. They both have had hell of a careers, but this is huge series for both of them, just where they are in their career, what their season's been, kind of the up and down roller coaster both these teams have been on. It's unbelievable to think that one of these teams, after everything they've been through, is going to go to the conference finals, and it has a lot to do with LeBron and Steph.
Chandler, thank you for joining us on your own show today. We appreciate it. Tomorrow it's boat or nothing.
Next time he'll tell us exactly what Joakim Noah did.
Yeah.
Florida.
Or just text us in the thread. We won't.
We won't say.
Yeah, no.
Hey,
Get him a drink.
my load management's almost up.
We're almost done. By the way, between this outfit last night, James Harden's 45-pointer, and the Met Gala, fit or brick is chef's kiss today. That's coming up next.
Run it up, run it back like a running back. She known all over the map because she make it clap. With a short song or the...
Could you imagine Ohio?
Oh, man, FanDuel, the only sportsbook app where you can bet the Kentucky Derby. Right now, all customers get a no-sweat Derby bet up to $20. That's right, you get up to $20 back if your Derby win bet doesn't win. What are you waiting for? Bet America's #1 race on America's #1 sportsbook. Head to FanDuel and get your no-sweat bet in for the Kentucky Derby. There you go, sound effect for free. Fit or brick? I mean, obviously, we start where the whole world was chatting last night about the outfit that James Harden walked in. Now, remember, you don't have the benefit of hindsight. You don't know if he's going to have a good game or a bad game when you see this man walk in with this Muppet thing that's got going on. Now, what do you think?
The material must have felt great.
I love a
It
good.
must have been high-class
That's tough.
material.
Wow.
I love a good set. I love that he's daring enough to even do that.
It kind of adds weight to him. It's an interesting
I like the
fashion
jacket
choice.
a lot. I actually like the
jacket is
jacket.
fire.
The
Yeah,
pants are,
we're
an acquired
They're
taste.
kind of costumey.
Yeah, the Elmo joint.
The
Yeah.
Mike, the
You
Mike
can wear
Wazowski
that.
pants.
You can really do anything on the court.
Jacket is kind of fun, though. I do not hate the jacket.
I like the leather. I like,
I think we would all wear the jacket.
We could all wear
I
the
don't know about
pants
the men.
together, which is kind of fun.
But the James Harden persona is just, I think it's pretty dope, though.
Here we go. Hat backwards, sunglasses indoors, Chris Paul.
I respect like a late 30s dad vibe. As a late 30s dad, I respect the vibe.
it. I mean, look, I'm a big fan of tank tops. Well done. Yes, the Met Gala giving us
I like this a lot.
looks.
I
Russell
actually like that a
Westbrook.
lot.
Lot of the pearl necklace is
hard.
not cheap.
The light behind him is kind of making the shoulder look crazy. But,
Oh yeah, you're right.
but I really like what he did here. Shout out to Russ. Deserves the invite.
Okay, but he wasn't the only guy representing last night.
Shea is
Gilgeous
always-
Alexander.
I mean, that's pretty cold, too.
No, that is
That's
nice.
I like
cold.
every piece
Chanel.
of this.
I like
the
what
bow
Shea-
tie, the
I would
boots,
wear every piece of
the
this.
shades.
Is that
I like
what is that like a? Do they
That's
just call
Chanel.
that a
That's
coat?
That's probably Chanel or something.
Is there,
It is
there like a
definitely
flashier
Chanel,
name
head
than
to toe.
coat for
Might
what
be
he's
some
got
ball
on?
main.
I don't know. It's drip.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, he's got and then Dwayne Wade, who we've gotten used to seeing him at the Met Gala. He's a staple.
and then he got on his chopper and drove off on his bike with this one. I don't like this one.
Is that like a biker jacket?
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know, but
Is it because it's sleeveless? Would you have preferred sleeves?
I actually liked it. Look, if my arms look that nice, I would never wear sleeves, so I respect that. But the gloves, like, it's a lot.
if Gabrielle Union's telling me I look nice, I'm like, in anything
So
I
easy.
wear, like, I'm good. I'm like, wait, what you think, babe?
That's
All right,
it for us.
forget it. Yeah.
Nick's superfan, Michael Rappaport on the show tomorrow. I'm sure we'll get words in edgewise. Enjoy the games.
Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, run it back. Run it up, the running back, yeah, yeah. Run it up, run it back, run it up, run it back.